I asked the entire Hall of Valor for help, but the only one who responded was myself. Of course, this is not fate, but Ragnar, the fierce dragon. At first everyone thought the male protagonist was a waste, but they didn't know that he could instantly kill everything in the world with just one punch. To protect what he must protect, he moves all existing power to his past time in the future. Not only that, this time he even met Fei Hong, who was slaying dragons with him 10 years before. It seems everything is going in the right direction. Although Fei Hong also agreed to cooperate with the male protagonist to fight the dragon, the prerequisite is that he must drink this tube of poisonous apata. After all, the male protagonist's ability is also a threat to Fei Hong, but don't worry, the poison will only work when he feels rebellious. But before Fei Hong finished speaking, the male protagonist did so without hesitation. This poison tube is true, his desire to kill the dragon has reached the extreme. But in Fei Hong's eyes, this was just an excuse to attack first and finish off the opponent for fear of being hurt. But in any case, judging from the opponent's ability and determination, there is no doubt that this is a great tool master. That's the problem. Although he heard these words 10 years later, you must know that compared with the future, the present is already 10 years ahead of schedule. At the same time, a third-level Feng Yulong appeared somewhere in the city. He was also one of the people who received orders from the gods to destroy the city suddenly blown away. His body was covered in bruises, and he did this only to hear the miserable screams of the girls, even though the girls were constantly calling for help. Yes, but so what? In front of Captain Long, all this was in vain. Instead, he hoped someone would save these girls, so he wouldn't get bored. Although the horror of the dragon clan is deeply rooted in the hearts of the people, there is still good news. The dragon beasts seem to save these civilians, but they can't do what they want. Their attack was simply the power of a dimension-reducing attack in front of the dragons, and the difference in size was too obvious. At this critical moment, a truck entered the scene, and it was none other than the male lead drinking a pot of tea. Seeing this, Asma was stunned. The man in front of him was actually emitting a silver aura. But fortunately, the male protagonist used the power of the future to defeat the flying little demon dragon. Was more interested in the silver metal fight. He wished he could feel this power from the future right then and there. If this power could be used to build an army, wouldn't it be easy to defeat the Dragon King? And this prerequisite will be accompanied by a storm. Hearing this, Fei Hong's first reaction was Feng Yulong. He finished speaking, the hero decided to go on a crusade alone, but Fei Hong stopped him. It turned out that Fei Hong had long known that the male protagonist's body had reached its limit. He just pushed it casually and the male attained the power of the future. According to his current body, the male protagonist cannot control this power at all. As for dealing with Feng Yulong, Fei Hong had actually already made countermeasures, and then told everyone that the male protagonist was unable to fight at this time, which immediately caused Asuma to panic. Seeing the other party so nervous also made Fei Hong seize the opportunity. It turned out that Fei Hong knew at a glance that some people had abandoned their friends. Blaming himself for not saving his friend and unwillingness to defeat Feng Yulong was the perfect time to brainwash. You know, Feng Yulong's wind will cut them into pieces. The more Asuma heard it, the more he fainted. They alone couldn't hurt the superior dragon at all. He was clearly a dragon beast, but in front of the other party, he was more like a dragon beast only having regrets. Speaking of this, Asuma felt a chill, and this was the silver equipment on the hero's body. As long as they had this weapon, Fei Hong guaranteed they would be able to kill superior dragons. However, facing powerful superiors, the dragon silver sword could not guarantee the safety of their lives. Therefore, Fei Hong gave them two choices. One is to take this silver sword and continue to be a dragon beast, or choose to abandon your companions and continue to be a deserter. It's ready to go. Fei Hong led Asma and a group of people towards the ruins. Then, he took out the key and inserted it into the door without a keyhole. When everyone entered the room, they saw rows of modern weapons. Everyone was confused. The explanation Fei Hong gave was also due to magic. Even though the performance of this weapon is much better than other firearms on the market, it cannot be denied that a weapon is still a weapon. In a world where cheats are everywhere, guns are of little use at all. But if you have this bullet, the outcome may not be certain. Just because the bullet is blessed with a silver buff, you never expect that the male protagonist who obtains this power will become a power bank. At the same time, Fei Hong noticed that the male protagonist seemed a little lonely. Interacted with him since he was a child. A good ending was like a curse for him. Even if forcibly changing the heroine would make him sad, it was better than dying by his side. Since the two have become partners, Leo is also important to Fei Hong. Fei Hong thought of a very good suggestion. Just restrain Leo and give him medicine to put him into a coma. This way, Leo won't get involved. They must be awesome as friends. Hearing this, Fei Hong immediately thought of countermeasures.